Hi guys, welcome back. It's your host McGimpsey, and today we're going to be looking at players you can sign for absolutely free in 2022 at the end of the first season. A lot of really quality players that the clubs have just not tied down. So I'll go through my list of best players you can sign. Some are going to be very expensive in terms of wages and stuff, but some are a lot cheaper. So there's something for everyone here. And also I'll go through some at the end who I haven't mentioned. But there is a lot of players who you can sign. And first we have Paul Pogba. He'll be 29 years old at the time. He's still got, a good 3, 4, 5 years left in him. And as he gets older, he can just sit back and be that deep line playmaker anyway. So he can adapt his game to your team. He's very, very good on the ball, as we know. 16 dribbling, 18 first touch, 18 passing, 19 technique, 17 vision, good teamwork, good off the ball, good flair too, good composure on the ball, which is very important as you want to be comfortable on the ball. 15 anticipation, again, good for passing, but also his physical stats. He's strong, 17. He's got good stamina, decent pace, and good jumping too. So he's a fantastic player to have in your squad, and to get for absolutely free, he would be an incredible asset to any club. Considering he's valued at 63 to 76 million pounds, you can see this is an absolute bargain. But of course, he's on 300k a week, so you're probably going to be paying more than that for him if you do decide to get him. Next, we have Killian and Bappe. He's got even better from last year. He'll only be 23 when you sign him, and he's already world class. 18 dribbling, 17 finishing, 16 first touch, 17 technique. Mentally, good with anticipation, so he can anticipate the passes. Good composure, good on the ball, good decision making, good off the ball too, and of course 20 acceleration and 20 pace. It doesn't get faster than him. Tries tricks, cuts inside from both wings, and runs with ball often. Again, a really good thing about Mbappe, you can play him on the left, right, or up front, anywhere across that front three. He's so young, and if you do want to get Mbappe in your save, you're going to have to try and get him at this point, because it's going to be very, very hard to get him after this. Because then you're going to be starting paying 150, 200 plus million to get him after that. So if you really want him, end of the first season, pay what he wants. He's already on 425,000, so you're going to need big wages. But if you want Mbappe on this game, this is the chance to get him. Next we have Dybala, a world-class attacking midfielder, or you can play him as a striker too. I think he did stuff at Juventus with Ronaldo there, because everything went through Ronaldo. So he hasn't really shown himself as much the last few years. But his stats, again, good on corners, so someone who can do that. Good crosser, 15. Good dribble, 18. Good finishing, 15. 19 first touch. He's also good at free kicks, so he's good for any of your set pieces. He's got long shot, 18, very high, 17 passing, 19 technique, 17 vision too. So he's got very good vision on his passing, so can do them killer balls. Off the ball is good too. He's a flair player as well, which is always exciting to have. And he's got good agility, decent pace. He's an elite player. He'll be 28 when you get him, but he does have a few years left in the tank. Brozovic, 28, he will be 29 when you get him. He's a world-class midfielder who likes to dictate play and switch the ball to wide areas. I really do like this player. I played him on the last FM, and he's very, very good. He really is one of them players who really can control the game, and with good pass attributes, good tackling attributes too. He's just someone who can really sit back but still make things happen. Of course, his strength is passing with 17. You've also got 16 vision as well. But he's also a good tackler with 16. So he is one of the players who can break up play too. He's also a workhorse, 17 work rate, 16 teamwork. He's got 14 position, which is not bad at all. And he's also a brave player with good anticipation, which is good for passing and defending. And his physical stats too. He's not the strongest, but he has really good stamina and fitness, so he can keep going in your midfield, breaking up play, making things happen, and won't tire. Fati, he is one who has actually just signed a contract, but they have not updated this yet. So if you're on a beta, this is someone you could potentially get, but I presume when the full game comes out, this will be gone. So if you do want to have a little cheat in the system, this is the time to get him. He is quite Messi-esque. He's 18 years old, good dribble, decent pass, good technique, fast player, flair player. I don't want to dwell on him too much because you might not be able to even get him in a week or two or maybe a few days. Pellegrini, a fantastic player. He was in the Euros and performed really well. 25 years old, so he'll be 26, so just in his prime. So still a great player. He's probably a player I would play in a 2 and having 1 holding. He isn't necessarily the goal scoring threat, but he is a elite attacker. So we can see he moves into channels, tries killer balls, plays his shots, argues with officials and plays 1-2. So he is more about that passing, making things happen. So like him and a Bruno Fernandes would be an unbelievable partnership, I think. For example, he's good on corners too. He's good on corners too, so you can use him for that. Really good crossing with 16, very, very good. 17 first touch, 16 technique, 15 pass, 17 vision. So you can see how good his vision is and his pass it is. Teamwork as well, 17. He's a player who likes to play with possession more than anything else. So I wouldn't really use him as much for maybe a counter-attacking team. He's someone who likes to be on the front foot and makes things happen. But he's also good off the ball. He's got flair and he's got decent mental stats too. Decent stamina as well and decent agility. He's not the fastest in the world. He's not the strongest. And he isn't an elite player in terms of finishing, but he's an incredible passer to the ball and he can really make things happen. Onana. So, Onana. 25 years old, so he's got a good 10 years in him, I'd say. He's a very good goalkeeper, pretty good all round. He's got decent command of the area, decent kicking, decent one-on-ones, decent reflexes, rushing out 16, decent throw-in. He does like to try and play his way out of trouble though, so that may cost you a goal or 2 if he gets that wrong. But for 25 years old, a very good player to have. He won't be too expensive. He's only on 30k at the minute, so you can probably pay him less than 100 and he'll be fine with that. Next we have Kessie, an absolute workhorse. He's definitely a ball-winning midfielder, all that box-to-box. His main strengths are marking and tackling, 15 for each. But he also has good passing with 15, which is very important as a midfielder. Even if he doesn't have like the vision of the other ones, you just want someone who can pass the ball when he needs to do it, get it off to the right players and make things happen. Good penalty taker, 2 of 18, so he does add that to your team too. He is aggressive, he's got good anticipation, good bravery, so he's good at anticipating other players running at him. He's also that aggressive player who will get in there, rough some teams up who don't like it, and a real workhorse. 16 positioning, which is very important. 18 teamwork, 17 work rate, 19 stamina. So you can see how good he is. He is described as a tenacious midfielder after all. And he's also strong with 19 and got a decent pace. So he can get up and down the pitch fine. He's got so much stamina. He can keep it up all game. He's aggressive as well. So he can rough up them teams that don't necessarily like that. A very good player to have, and only 24, he's got lots of years left in him. He can definitely develop more, and also play you can most likely get for a lower profile club if you do well in your first season. We have Sule from Bayern Munich. He is 25, so again got a lot of years left in him, especially as a centre back. You can play him as ball playing centre back, you can play him as a no nonsense centre back. And he's very good. He's a powerful centre-back, that's how he's described, and we can see why. I mean, as a defender, he has 17 jumping reach and 15 heading, so absolutely brilliant in the air if you need that in your team. If you maybe have a smaller defender and you're a bit worried about him, having him next to him does help a lot. 50 marking, 16 tackling, so very good. 15 positioning too, so very good at defending, as you'd expect. His mental stats are pretty good too. He's brave enough, he's composed, concentration, decisions are all decent, and got good determination too, which always helps. In terms of his physical, it's a bit weird because he has 16 pace, which is quick, but he's a bit slow getting off the mark. So you'd want to be a bit careful with offsides, I'd say, with this guy, because he is quick enough to keep up with most players. But if they get a head start from a standing position, he might have an issue there. But apart from that, 18 strength, very strong, very good in the air, powerful, and good at defending. I think he's a brilliant signing to have. Another defender, Louise Felipe. This is someone I have had on a few saves over the years. He's a really good player. He is that no-nonsense centre-back. He's sort of Vidic mould. He's got very high aggression, 17, so you have to be a bit careful with him. But he's brave, he's aggressive, he's not scared. He'll put his foot in, and he's not worried what's going to happen to him. Good anticipation too, which is very good for a defender. His defending stats himself, 14 jump and reach, 16 heading, which is good. He is good in the air. 50 marking, 18 tackling, so he's an elite tackler of the ball, one of the best in the game in fact, and good positioning. So he's going to be in a good position, he can mark a player well, and when he actually goes for tackle himself, he is very good at it. Pace-wise, 14 pace, 30 acceleration, so decent, not the fastest in the world, but a decent pace for centre-back, and 14 strength, so he's not too weak too. A very good centre-back I've had for the last few years. He's cheap as well, he won't cost too much, as he's only on 24 a week, so apart from the sign-on bonus, you can probably get him under 80k a week, I'd say. So a good signing as well. Now we go on to a player who's just come out of that Wonder Kid bracket. He is going to be 22 when you get him, and he's an enthusiastic centre-back. That's how it's described. Defending stats himself, 40 marking. As a defender himself, he's got a good pass on him, so he's someone who can pass up from the back fine. 15 tackling, very good. 13 positioning is okay. Teamwork 15, work rate 15. Not fantastic in the air. He's got decent jumping reach and decent heading, but it's definitely not a strong point. So you probably want someone alongside him, and also not the strongest too. So definitely someone you probably want to put next to maybe a bigger guy like a Maguire. But rated at 25 to 38 million, he's only 21, so he still needs to grow out. He still needs to get a bit stronger, get a bit quicker, get a bit more technical, and I think he can develop into a really good player. And also he's one of them ones you can probably get for the lower profile clubs too, someone you can definitely stick around with, and if you develop him in a longer term save, I think you will reap the rewards of this player. Next we have Zakaria, been linked to a few clubs but nothing's actually happened. Was good in the Euros too. He is primarily just a ball-winning midfielder. If that's what you want, then this is the guy for you. He is quite cheap too. He won't be on massive wages, but if you just want someone who's breaking up play and letting others go up and play themselves, he is a very good player for that. 16 tackling, very good. Good work rate, good teamwork. Position not bad too. He's aggressive, brave, good stamina, good pace, decent strength. So he's not elite, so he's definitely a player you can probably get for like a mid-table Prem club, maybe a recently promoted Prem club or something at the bottom. And if you just want some stability, you want a bit of a workhorse, then he will suit you well. However, he avoids using his weaker foot, so that is something obviously opposition can target by keeping him on the other foot. But apart from that, a good signing, Todd Cantwell. He is in the Championship currently. He's 23, but I think he can develop into a very good player. You can already see a lot of his stats are very good. He's got a good cross on him with 14, that's very high. 15 dribbling, very good. Good first touch, 14 passing, 15 technique, 15 vision, 15 off the ball, 16 flair. Acceleration is fine, good agility, not the strongest, but we can see what this play's about. Passing, technical, good with the ball, tries tricks, likes to beat opposition repeatedly and cuts in from the left. So not bad finish on him with 12 either, so he can put in, do some damage, cross the ball really well. He's someone who's a threat as a winger and an inverted forward. Someone you can use on the left and the right, I'd say, because you can use him as a winger on the right. He's got a good cross, or an inverted winger on the left. And again, someone with a lower profile who you can definitely sign. And we have to finish on the GOAT, Jesse Lingard. J Lings, the guy Ronaldo has the privilege of playing with now. It is Jesse Lingard. I think we all know what Jesse Lingard is. Good acceleration, good pace, good stamina, good fitness, good work rate, good off the ball. It just says everything about him. He's that player who just doesn't stop working. Probably really good for a pressing team or a team where you just want to really work hard to get the ball back. He's got decent pass on him, decent dribble, decent first touch, etc. But we all know what his main attributes are. He does play 1-2s and he can put in from both wings. And with 14 dribbling and 14 finishing, he can really get at opponents. And 14 finishing is really good as well. So he is definitely someone who's a threat from out wide or through the middle. He could definitely score a goal. He's definitely one of them players who can run at people too. So he's a versatile player who can play different roles within a team. Probably good for a counter-attacking team, or if you really want to press someone. Someone you can bring on in the game if you're trying to hold a lead, because he'll work a bit more. So just an all-round really good player. We saw how good he was at West Ham, and he's definitely very good for a mid-table team, a bottom of the league sort of team. If you can get him, he's very good. His wages are on the higher side compared to most players of his ability, obviously because he's at United. But apart from that, who doesn't want the GOAT in their team? But that is the end of my list. I'll quickly go through some other players you can get too. You can get Pogba, you can get Belotti, you can get Zagadou from Dortmund, Rudiger from Chelsea, Christensen from Chelsea, Bale, and there are a few others you can search online if you are interested in seeing who else is out there. But a lot of them were either old or they were lower quality of player. So I just went through the ones I felt were the best. But there is more out there if you want to look. But a lot of them are like the 30, 31, 32 sort of age. So they're the ones that are only good for like a season or two. But if you want that, then there's definitely some more out there. I will be making another video on contracts to expire in 2023. So join me for that one if you want to see who you can get at the end of your second season. But apart from that, I'll have much more FM content coming your way. Do like and subscribe. Let's build this community. And I want to see you all in the next video. Comment down below if you sign any of these.